Okay, that is the global market action. There is some buoyancy after continuous rout that we've seen on the Wall Street and also European markets. But how will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have a research team joining us now. We have Vivek, Surbi and Nigel to tell us what is the market setup looking like today. Hey guys, a very good morning to all of you. Vivek, let me come across to you first. What are the cues in terms of market moves that we need to watch out for today?
Well, after quite some time, you're actually seeing some positive cues going into today's trading session. You know, if you're talking about the Dow as well as the Nasdaq, they managed to snap a 6-day losing rally, and yesterday, in fact, closed with strong gains. This came on the back of, like we mentioned earlier, the unexpected, bond buying program that the Bank of England is planning to launch. Now, this actually led to significant cooling off as far as yields too were concerned. The US 10-year Treasury yields actually dropped 25 bips, and this again is something that led to a buoyancy as far as equity markets were concerned. When you're talking about the European markets too managed to end the day with gains. It was a volatile session, but towards the end of the session, they all managed to end with gains. When you're talking about, crude prices slightly negative impact as far as India is concerned. Crude prices actually had a significantly higher up day. This was on the back of the fact that the US inventories came in much lower than anticipated. Brent ended the day almost 3.5% higher, while WTI ended almost 4.7% higher in the session yesterday. Asian markets today along expected lines and on the back of a very strong handover are starting the day on a strong footing. The SGX Nifty is indicating a gap up opening as far as Indian markets are concerned of close to 1%. And remember today two important events that you're seeing. Number one, the F&O expiry for this particular month, and also there will be key index rejig that happens, and on the back of that, some passive ETFs will be active in the session today.
All right, so that is all about the market cues of market setup for today. Now over to Surbi, who is going to talk about all the stocks that will be in focus today. Surbi.
I have a few stocks on my radar today. The first one is Anupam Rasan. The company will launch its QIP to raise 500 crore rupees. The floor price as per the exchange announcement is going to be 763 rupees, but sources suggest to CNBC that it is likely to be at 725 rupees, which is at a 4.4% discount to yesterday's closing price. Next is Nykaa. The board is going to consider a bonus issue on October 3rd. Supriya Life Sciences, the European drug body EDQM, has granted a certificate of suitability for its antihistamine drug. Blue Dart is going to raise prices with effect from 1st of Jan 2023 with an average price hike of 9.6%. Torrent Pharma, the US FDA concluded inspection at its manufacturing facility in Gujarat and has issued 3 observations. None of these observations are related to data integrity. And lastly, Ramco Cement commissions its 5th integrated cement plant in Andhra Pradesh. The plant has a capacity of 2.25 million tons per annum.
Okay, Surbi, thanks a lot for all those stocks that will be in focus today. Finally, Nigel is joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Hey, Nigel.
Well, morning. Good to see some green on the screen, at least to kickstart trade. But if you're looking at the flows, the FIs, they have been going slam, boom, bam, actually. If you look at it in terms of selling yesterday as well, 2,800 crores odd. In the last 6 trading sessions, they have been consistent sellers and they've sold more than $2 billion, which is a worry. Let's see whether or not they pull back a little bit, because that'll be some bit of relief. Now, what did they do in the F&O market? Well, after a while, they added equal long as well as short positioning. I don't know, it's in a lead up to the expiry day, but good to see some long positions as well getting added. They continue to remain net short on the index, so the short positioning has come down to around 72%. What was encouraging is after a while, I've seen more puts getting written in comparison to calls. So that's pretty encouraging. 39,000 put contracts odd. I'll take that as a bit of a positive. And it gives you a sense that they're going to be putting in a fight at lower levels. They're buying both calls as well as puts, maybe more puts being bought because of some protection in case things go wrong. They have some support. What are the levels you're looking at then? The 100 DMA, that's the line in the sand, around that 16,700 odd. And the 200 DMA as well, crucial mark, closer to around 17,000. Now, 2 strikes have the highest open interest, the 17,000 call as well as the 16,800 put. And, the premium out there is around 26 and 55 rupees. So, if we see that gap up, then sustaining that gap up is going to be very, very crucial. Remember, the 200 DMA is at around that 16,987. We're going to be seeing a gap up. We need to sustain over those levels for the shorts to get a little bit squeezed out. The 100 DMA, well, that appears to be the last man standing. The bulls say, yes, that level is going to hold out. So that's around that 16,700 odd mark. Keep in mind, the Nifty is still very much in a sell and rise mood. till in fact we see a good, maybe a bounce of around 200, 220 points or move towards that 17,100 odd mark, it'll give bulls some bit of hope. But intraday dips, well, they are trading opportunities. So let's see how this goes. For the time being, a big gap up. Sustaining it, the most crucial factor. Back to you.
Of course, that's the big question, right? And it's also yellow on the screen, Nigel. At least both of us are trading there. But guys, thank you so much for joining us and prepping us up for this trading day ahead. With that, we'll slip into a break now. Up next, with the RBI policy set to be announced tomorrow, we tell you what to expect after this short break. Stay tuned.